Right, people, I just found a packet of love hearts on my desk that I've been eating, and I don't know where they came from. I just forgot all about them. But do you remember when love hearts were like really, they were just really sweet, and they just said "I love you" or "Be my baby" on them or something like that? And then ever since mobile phones came out, back in the day when everyone had a Nokia, suddenly love heart sweets were covered in like things like, it wouldn't just say "I love you," it would say "I-L-U-V you." You know what I mean? Like a text message and stuff. And it really kind of ruined love hearts. And I was eating one just now, and the first one was something, I can't even remember what it was now, but it was just "I love you" or whatever. And then the second one was a picture of a fucking smile, no, a winky face emoji. Really? Is that the time we there's the ages we, oh god, the other one's an emoji now. The other one's an emoji that hasn't even got anything to do with love. And this one doesn't have anything to do with love either. This one just says epic, because that's what the kids say. Love hearts, getting down with the kids. Epic. What's it got to do with love? You know what I mean? It's just, and then this one, look. I wouldn't be surprised if they're all fucking emojis, to be honest. What's that got to do with love? What's that? You know what I mean? It's just yeah, that's more like it. Look, kiss me. Like, that's nice enough. That's like an original love heart. But marry me, yeah, again, that's a nice one. And then, okay, I've got two marry me's. But yeah, like epic and an emoji and all that kind of shit. Like, do we have to bring the online digital world into our sweets? You know what I mean? And I don't know why I'm moaning. I mean, who gives a fuck? But I don't know how to fucking start a video, do I? So I thought I'd just start off by slagging off these love hearts, because things were better in the old days, is basically what I'm saying, because I'm getting to that age. Hello, what's going on? Yeah, so someone sent me a message saying that they're a really big fan and they really like what I do. They've been following me for a while, and that they said, would I mind learn how to talk on camera, mate. I've been doing it long enough. They said, how do you do wrinkles and stuff? How do you stuff like this? I just grabbed any old drawing, but this one's pretty fucking good for wrinkles, right? It's that weird picture of Goku. Yeah, so basically someone got hold of me and said, I'm a big fan of what you do, and I've been really inspired by what you do and stuff, which is awesome. But they said, would you mind showing me how you make things look so, he said dirty, that kind of like gritty, grotty. Other people have called my stuff dirty before, sort of like it's got like a filthy look to it with the amount of like small details and line work and all that kind of stuff. He wanted to know, how do you do that? Which is awesome, which you know, I'm happy to show you how to do that, sort of to the best of my ability. I mean, I'm not great at tutorial kind of stuff, but I can tell you how I do it, and hopefully you can work it out for yourself. Practice makes perfect. That's what it's going to boil down to, is practice makes perfect. It's always a case of that. Just keep on at it and you'll be able to do it. But what I did want to talk about first for a second is just the importance of knowing the fine line between being inspired by somebody and just sort of ripping them off or whatever. I'm not suggesting this person has ripped me off. You haven't at all. I mean, I saw your drawings; they're really good, but they were clearly, you know, inspired by me. There were a lot of things, the themes, the colours, the tongue coming out of the mouth, the way, the excessive detail on the teeth, the wrinkles, kind of like the whole thing, really, which is fine because everyone's inspired, right? And like, I mean, I only learned how to draw because you can't not be inspired, you know. That's how everyone learns how to draw. You've got to start somewhere, and for me it was the Beano. That was a good page to open up on. But for me it was Beano comics back in the day. I mean, I would read these and I thought the drawings were really interesting, and so I learned how to draw doing that, and that's what everybody does, yeah. That's all good, that's all well and fine, but I just want to stress to people more than anything is that Because I've had a lot of people, a surprising amount of people come to me saying, "Oh, well, I really like what you do. Check out what I've done," and then they show me, and I'm like, "Okay, so you really like what I do, and that's awesome. Be inspired." But it's really important to make sure you also do you, because I'm doing me, right? I'm doing me, and I'm bringing what I'm bringing. But so I've seen some people in the past that have sort of just copied me outright, and they still kind of do. And I think, yeah, but if you do that, you're not bringing anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm bringing me. You bring you. You do your thing. Make it. What are you going to bring to the table of like new ideas and stuff? I'm not saying I've brought any new ideas, but um, it's so important to make sure that you're going to do your thing, and that you don't sort of obsessively think, I really like this guy, and therefore I'm just going to kind of do whatever he does. I'm not suggesting this is what that person's doing who's contacted me, but there have been people in the past and stuff. So it's really important to just make sure you're doing your thing, okay? Because that's what's awesome about art, is that that's how I mean, I'm talking about copying, but that's how originality comes about as well, by you bringing your thing to it. So don't just seek to do whatever I'm doing, and I'm just really repeating myself because it's all I can really say. But I just kind of want to hammer that home. It's fine to copy people and to be inspired, but don't make that your whole thing. Um, I mean, this person's got they've kind of got their foot in the door already as an amateur animator for some sort of little cartoon thing, which is amazing. But then, like, how would I feel if, like honestly, how would I feel if this person copied me so much that it got to a point where I can't even tell what's theirs and what's mine, and then they've gone off and become successful? That's going to make me feel a bit like, oh, well, it's one thing to inspire people, but yeah, great. I'm still here with no foot in the door, and this person's gone off with my style that they learned from me, and now they're living large or whatever, living their dream, my dream. you know. If truth be told, it can feel like that sometimes. So it's important to make sure you're not just outright copying what other people do. Not suggesting this is what that person's doing. I'm just saying be careful, because like I said, I'm just repeating myself. I'm now repeating myself. I should probably just shut up. But I just wanted to hammer that home because it's important. And now I don't know how to end this bit. So yeah, but like wrinkles and stuff like that. Okay. Right, okay, so wrinkles and stuff. Let's look at wrinkles, and I'll show you how to, because I'm more than happy to. Don't get me wrong. I'm more than happy to show you how to, or try and show you how to do all these things. He said you always manage to squeeze a lot of stuff into a space without making it look like there's too much going on, which I think is a great little compliment. So yeah, I'm sure he's talking about the whole face, I guess, because the reason for there being a lot of detail in a place is that I don't really like it when there's a large area. But I don't like doing it looks bad when there's just a lot of detail over here, and then for whatever reason, what if I didn't do much detail over here, because that's what the picture required. But then you just kind of got a big block of colour that to me looks like, I really want to put detail in there. But I can't, because it's part of the picture. That bit doesn't need detail, but to me it will look like it does. Okay, classic example. I was going to draw a picture of Michael Myers, the white face psychopath, film, knife, Halloween. I was going to draw Michael Myers from Halloween, and so obviously that was just like a big white face, right? And sometimes it's really hard to, when you've just got like a big block of colour, I mean it was like this big, just a big white area, it's hard to fill that with a lot of detail, because it's easier to do lots of little bits of colour, if you know what I mean. And then I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. I do know what I'm talking about, but I'm shit at explaining things. So join me as I struggle to explain how to make things look kind of weird and dirty. Okay, I'm basically just going to It's like a tutorial, but it's not a tutorial. I'm just going to go over some of my drawings and try to do my best to explain in my usual haphazard kind of way what I think about when I draw, and hopefully that somehow helps you as well. Okay, so there we go. Right. Okay. So when I do these wrinkles, I kind of don't really think about I I don't really think about where I'm putting them. I just kind of draw a lot of lines, and then once I've got a lot of lines in a space, then I decide what they're going to look like. So if we just zoom in a little bit. So there's quite a few different variations of wrinkles and stuff. As you can see, I've drawn all these lines, yeah, and they're all just wavy and they're all quite different. And then I tie them together with the small details, the little flourishes of details, the lumps, the bumps, the little dashes. But more importantly, when it comes to doing these wrinkles, I think it's all about these, because I'm not very good at doing lighting and shading. So to try and evoke the impression of there being shading, I just tend to do these like little dashes with a very thin pen. So I use a combination of pens. I've talked about these 100 times, but just quickly, these ones, yeah, Fudun, Suki, whatever they're called, Tombow, right? Tombow pens, they're calligraphy pens, and they're really good. That's what I use. But then I also use, for different thicknesses, just the micron pens that everyone uses. Go on Amazon, search for micron, you'll see them, blah blah blah. And there's lots of different sizes. I think 8 is usually one of the thickest ones you get in the packet. But yeah, but I use the thin one for the little dashes for when I'm doing the shading and stuff. So like number 2 would be good, or number 3. Number 1's a bit too thin. But yeah, so I've already drawn on a piece of paper. I've drawn some colour. Well, I haven't drawn some colour, I've laid down some colour. And you'll see what I mean. So let's just draw lines anyway. I'm kind of sat at a weird angle because it's always awkward trying to fucking film yourself. But and I am going to rush just a little bit. I'm not going to spend ages. I'm just giving you like a brief idea. So as I'm doing this, right, I'm not really thinking all that much about how it's going to come together to end up looking like what I just showed you on that picture of Goku. Am I on the camera? Yes, I am. Right. And then let's do another one like that. And now suddenly, as I just did that, I thought to myself, I'm going to make 2 touch like that. And maybe we could make another one hang down there. And so these bits, I have decided, these are going to have the shading inside them, because then these are the recessed areas, and this will be like the flaps or folds of skin hanging down over the recessed areas. So here, look, let's do another big thing. Look, this is a big fat bit hanging down. There's going to be a small recessed area in there. But when I'm drawing, I've always described myself as being I mean, there's nothing, no one really taught me how to draw apart from maybe Neil Buchanan from Art Attack, which is a TV show here in the UK back in the day. I learned how to draw a little bit from that, but it's mostly what I've taught myself, and I've always just kind of described it as like extreme doodling, because I don't really know any ideas from books or what a teacher might say if you went to art school or anything like that. I'm not classically trained. I think that's what I'm trying to look for. So I just draw the way I draw, and I just call it extreme doodling because it's all come about through me practicing. And what's practicing if it's not just doodling? You know, you doodle, you make it up as you go along. You go, oh fucking hell, that worked, and then I'll remember that for next time, and then that becomes a thing, and that becomes part of your arsenal of drawing methods. Let's just put another bit up there. So we've got some wrinkles, right? And because I'm on camera, I'm already doing things that I wouldn't usually do. Like this bit right here that I'm doing is a bit like, what are you doing, Sean? You wouldn't usually do this here. This bit doesn't look right at all, but whatever, that's just the weirdness of drawing on camera. So I'm going to get the thinner pen, I'm going to get micron number 2, and those little areas that are going inwards, I'm going to make it look like that by just putting in the shading. I think this pen might start running out, but there you go, there's some shading, and here's some more shading as well. There we go. So now you get the impression that this is a big fat wrinkle, here's a big fat wrinkle, and they're sort of like hanging down, and hanging off the skin, if you know what I mean. Imagine your granddad's face. I used to yeah. I used to love kissing my granddad goodbye when I was little, because his cheeks would just sort of like suck into your mouth, where he was like, you know, just that old and frail, and the skin's so thin and stuff, and he kind of had like chubby old man cheeks. But then when you would kiss him on the cheek, it was like, and you'd kind of like suck in his face, which wasn't that pleasant, because he's usually unshaved, so you just get a mouthful of bristly facial hair. Right, anyway, so do that, yeah, you got your shading, and yeah, look, gonna tuck a little bit of shading underneath the other bits as well. And then sort of the dirtiness, I mean, like that dirty grubby look that I have, where it's like, oh, that's a lot of detail packed into a small area, that will come about when you've done just so much of this that it's almost all the fucking picture is. I mean, let's go back to Goku. I mean, that's all this fucking drawing is, or pretty, you know, 90% of it. It's just mass detail, you know, and everything. I mean, even these veins, really, if you look at them, the method is the same as the wrinkles. It's, I mean, you could argue that I only really have one drawing trick, and it's doing wrinkly, dirty looking stuff, you know, the forehead wrinkles there, around the eye as well. I'm just tucking shading into the little the dashes. I'm just kind of tucking those dashes into everything, and it kind of helps things to look like there's what do you call it, you know, things are going inwards like that, and then things are coming outwards, inwards, outwards. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to look at the camera at the same time, but yeah, right, so all those little flourishes of detail and stuff, I mean, if you're looking to do gross, then gross is really all I do, because I just like filling up a space with lots and lots of detail. Because as I was trying to say earlier, I don't like it when there's a large block of colour that hasn't got any detail on it. To me, it just looks like I haven't I'm so excessive with the detail that if there's an area that hasn't got any detail on it because it doesn't need it, to me it still looks like it hasn't been finished. So let's just put little just indicators like this, which suggest that this is the edge of the fold. And I can't really explain how these make it look like how that looks like it's the edge, but now it does, doesn't it? I mean, before this here looks like it's 2D. If I do this, you kind of know automatically that this is now some sort of edge there. Let's put a bit more here. And then doing what I did just here, I'm going to do it again over here. And that looks like when you pull on a saggy bit of skin, and you know those lines kind of reveal themselves where the skin's being tightened and stretched. So let's we could do that all along this one if you want. Tuck some underneath there, and then in spaces where I don't really know what to draw, that's where all the little lumps and bumps come into it. Let's just do another spot over here. And sometimes I'm literally just drawing dots. I mean, I just did 3 dots then. You know, just like, yeah, whatever, just some little like dashes, just drawing like any old shit. Because if you draw the wrinkles, if you draw the main thing that you're drawing, so the wrinkles here would be the main thing. If you draw that well enough, you can get away with doing this. Getting a bit faster at it, yeah, whatever, that goes in there, that goes in there. Yeah, whatever, put a little bit more underneath here, yeah, cool, let's put another spot there, yeah, whatever. Because the viewer, the person looking at this drawing, will just put all those other little details you're just doing there. They'll put that together in their head themselves. Even if that bit doesn't look as good as the wrinkles, you're kind of not going to notice. You'll just piece it all together in your head. It's like, oh, that whole area looks really cool. But if you look closer, it might be like, oh, actually the shading wasn't that good there or whatever. Oh, it looks like it's rushed it over here. But no one's ever really looking that close. So I'm kind of telling you how to cut corners now, which might not be the point. I don't know. But yeah. So well, there you go. I mean, that's basically all I'm doing. Everything I just did there, I draw the thing, I fill in some shading so I know what's what, and then I pop it. I make it pop and bring it to life by putting in little flourishes of detail, and the detail isn't really that dramatic. Let's just do one of those like ugly spot things for a second. There we go. And then I do that. Like imagine like a cloud or something. And then there's going to be like a hole here. And then I want it to look like there's curvature going inward. So I just draw curvature. I wouldn't know how else to achieve that. So I just draw curved lines going inside the thing, you know. And again, automatically, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just literally, I just run on automatic when I do these kind of things, because you know, you become accustomed to doing it. It becomes second nature, and you don't even think about it. But look, boom, done. Oh, that's too thick. Hang on, where's number 2? It's number 2 up my bottom at the moment, because I actually need a poo, and I did think, why didn't you have a poo before filming? And then it went back up like it does, because I've thought about it for too long. Right. There. Cool, that works, doesn't it? That looks like a lumpy, bumpy thing that's going inwards. I mean, that could be an ear. This could be the side of someone's head. This could be like the hair, maybe. I mean, the hair, oh, I fucking hate drawing hair so much. But it's more or less, again, the same method as that. You can just imagine these are strands of hair, and then you do the shading in between to indicate that, you know, some hair is on top and some's below and behind. And that's it, to be honest. I can't really... I mean, I think that... Well, I was going to say, I think that's good enough. That is good enough, because that's the best that I can explain it. Because, you know, I'm not a teacher. I don't really do tutorial type things. I hope that helps. And, yeah, there we go. Cool, awesome. I'll tell you what I will do is, I started off this video slagging off love hearts, and now I'm going to slag off something else. I just want to moan for a second, because I was going through that Dino book. I had it prepared just to, you know, try and prove and be honest that, you know, we all copy, we all take inspiration from other things and all that. So I went and found this book that was up on a shelf, and then I was going through it, and there's this character that is so fucking ugly. It looks like the Mickey Mouse equivalent of Ugly Sonic. So you remember when the Sonic film came out, and they had that original Sonic, and it was like, God, fucking good lord, who's come up with that? Fucking nightmare fuel, you know, disgusting. But this character, he's one of the original Beano characters. But he looks like that. He looks like the fucking ugly Mickey. He looks like ugly Mickey. It's horrible. And I know this is what this character probably looked like in the 90s. Oh, there it is. It's horrible. The weird human face thing on it and everything. It's fucking horrible. Here we go. This. Look at, what is that? Yeah, okay, it's one of the first Beano characters. That's how they used to draw him back in the day. But it's fucking horrible, isn't it? Like, can you not modernise him? What is that? What is it? Horror. Fucking. I don't know what that is. It's just Mickey Mouse. Well, it's, I think Ugly Sonic, the Mickey Mouse equivalent of Ugly Sonic, absolutely sums it up. Look, there he is. Look at his human face. Look at the wrinkles around the eyes and stuff. Like a fun mouse-looking cartoon character for a children's book doesn't have fucking wrinkles and lines and shit. And then the lack of detail on the actual ears as well. I probably shouldn't be slagging off the people that inspired me to draw, but this character is fucking ugh. Nightmare fuel. It's fucking horrible. Right, anyway, that's it. Looks even worse than look. I'm sorry, but look at fucking Nightmare Mickey. And what's going on with his nose there? His nose looks like. In the other one, they've drawn his no. Oh no, well they've drawn his nose in different ways. I mean, it looks fine there, the one with the piercing, but they've drawn his nose in the actual comic to look like one nostril. He's got one nostril on the end of his fucking nose. Oh, I don't know. That's going to keep me up tonight. Right. Anyway, there you go. I hope that helped you. And yeah. And if anyone else wants any other help with anything, I'll do my best to explain. Okay, so thank you guys. And if you've got any more questions, ask questions, blah blah blah. I much prefer doing a video when people have actually said, how do you do a thing, Sean, and then that gives me something to talk about. Or if you've got a random question, sorry, I've got a bit of dry earwax in my ear and I'm trying to get it. Yeah, got it. Lovely. Oh, it's on the end of my finger. Lovely. Just flick that somewhere around the bedroom. Yeah, if I can yeah, whatever. If you've got questions, ask questions. If you haven't, then don't do anything. Right. Love you all. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.